for me, quality over quantity, dignity and credibility over instant, instant success or fame.
Have you resumed shooting? What's the scene
Yeah,
now?
no, I've not resumed shooting because even I'm being very, very careful. But there was a schedule that I did for MA Entertainment with John Abraham. So I did that about 10 days ago or whatever, 15 days ago. And I went to Bombay and I traveled and I shot and I came back to Hyderabad, back home to my family. So I've been I'm making these short trips to Bombay. But shooting per se, like if you say shooting has resumed for us, it means we're basically running from one set to another. That's not happened yet.
This pandemic has been the biggest leveler of sorts for everyone, I think.
Yes.
Just it shows us that we are not immune to anything. We don't have to. What have you learned over the pandemic, Aditi?
Absolutely, you're so right. Normally when we hear about some, a virus or some kind of disease that has suddenly sort of broken out, it's always like, oh my God, it's there. No, it's not here. It is. But this one has been such a leveler. I feel like I've always been one of those people who's always said it's not about countries or regions. It's about people, and this pandemic has really been very democratic, and it's really gone all out and just been attacked everybody. So in that way, I mean, I'm making light of the situation. It's really not funny, but in many ways it has been like that, and I feel like more so it's made me it's really made me feel like it's so important for us to remember that at the end of the day, it's about human beings, and it's about connecting as human beings, being there for each other as human beings. Nothing else should matter. And I think that also to wake up in the morning and count your blessings.
You know what I love about your career graph, Aditi, is that you reinvent yourself. You do it in a very without a lot of surround noise. There are movies, we know you do good work, but there's not a lot of hoopla, and somewhere along the way I feel you do your work very well, and there's that consistency. Is that what you have always wanted to do? Do your work well, and then it just you seeped into our hearts very slowly. You served your time. It's not like you suddenly came and you had this great, amazing, spectacular launch. No, you swept into our conscious very slowly, but very strongly as well.
And that's really, really sweet of you to say that. It actually feels very good to hear that. You're right. I didn't get that launch where, I showcased every single talent that I had. Nobody really quite knew what I could do or what I couldn't do, etc. And it's been like one film at a time, one step at a time. But in a way, I feel, without sounding immodest or arrogant, absolutely at face value, I feel like, I've kind of I've done what I really wanted to do, and I've done it the way in which I wanted to do it, because for me, dignity is very, very important. The way I work is very important, and sometimes it can, a lot of people say that you've not done a lot of work, etc., etc. But maybe it's because of the way that I choose to work. And for me, the people that I work with are very important. The journey I go through making the film is very important. So those are choices I've made, but honestly, I've not made them knowingly. It's probably been subconscious choices. It's probably been a result of the way I've grown up or the things that I've been exposed to growing up. So, but today I can very happily say that even though there's a lot more for me to do and a lot more that I want to do, this is pretty much what I kind of wanted, in terms of being a pan-Indian face, working with the kinds of directors that I'm working with. For me, quality over quantity, dignity and credibility over instant, instant success or fame. I want to create timeless cinema, timeless characters. I mean, that's my yearning.
Do you think suddenly even you feel that you feel a sense of accomplishment for where you have reached?
I don't know if I feel a sense of accomplishment, but I do feel very happy when people around me tell me that they're proud of me, or they're proud of the way in which that I have worked, or I think that matters to me a lot, because there are a lot of good artists out there, there's a lot of talent out there, but I think it's also your attitude and the way that you work, and ultimately the choices that you make really define the artist that you are. I don't have so much of a sense of it because I don't think about it like that. To me, it's like that moment, that learning, then yearning for something else, yearning to work with the next. So I'm constantly, as an artist, like I'm thinking like that. I don't want to be that person who stabs somebody in the back and then gets the next big role, and I never want to be that person. Having said that, I want to do it well, and I want to keep pushing myself. I want those experiences. So I know that today the conversation around outsiders, insiders is very, very hectic. Having said that, I don't like using these words because it creates that divide. Ultimately at the end of the day, we are all artists. Yes, some people may come from a place of privilege. My opportunities may be less. They might have cushioning when they fall. I might scrape my knees when I fall. Ultimately, when we have that passion to work, and when we love our craft, we all get up and start running again. We all work hard. Our struggles are different. I personally don't like making that difference because I think it's unfair. And I don't want to be that person.
It's interesting. We're just surviving the time as well, Aditi. I mean, at the end of the day, you have movies up for release, which is amazing.
We, again, a theatrical film, I was looking forward to it, looking forward to releasing it in a theater. But it's just gotten an incredible response. Also, it's a film that's very special to me. Mohan Krishna Indraganti, he introduced me into Telugu cinema with a film called Sammohanam. I just felt like it takes a second to be a hero. It's that split second decision that makes a character into a heroic character. And Sahiba doesn't slap anybody, doesn't kick anybody, doesn't, no flying punches, but it's the courage of her heart and her decision to give up everything in her life that is dear to her love, her life, her child, her unborn child, everything, to save an unknown little girl. And it's so amazing how a love story with such a short duration on screen can get so much love and can be so believable to people, and people for people to root for that love story. So I really, really enjoyed working on this film, and it's so special, and it really tells me a lot about how cinema characters can impact people. Ultimately, as an actor, what do I want? Whether the film, like suppose in the case of V, the film pretty much belongs to the hero, and sometimes the film belongs to the heroine, and sometimes it belongs to both. But I feel what's important is for people to take you home with them in their hearts.